Hello and welcome to a new video. Now where I'm Legend, I can try out some Pokemon that maybe you wouldn't see otherwise in the GO Battle League, and one of them is definitely the Teddiursa. This was just a Pokemon that I really wanted to try out, and so that is why we're going to have the video here today. I'm fully aware that it's most not going to be the best Pokemon ever, but this Pokemon got now a new costume, and honestly, I like costume Pokemon. I don't know how it is for you, but I honestly really enjoy playing with them. And as you're going to see here, today we're going to have a team that's quite similar to my Legend team, but we're going to have a Teddiursa and we're going to have an Annihilate. I have to say that I do think that Teddiursa, if you ever want to play it for yourself, would have been better actually in my Legend team instead of the Ferret then. Like, Ferret is still better than Teddiursa, but Teddiursa is honestly kind of a cool Pokemon. This Pokemon got access to a ton of charge moves. Literally, the coverage that Teddiursa out of all Pokemon has with the charge moves is ridiculous and makes this Pokemon honestly one of the stronger Pokemon to run for that reason, but the only issue for this Pokemon as well is the fast move. The fast move needs to be better, and this Pokemon would be actually amazing. If this Pokemon would get charge moves of like Shadow Claw or something, I don't know if it actually learns, I know that the evolution does learn it. This Pokemon would be absolutely fantastic because your options as charge moves are Cross Chop, Swift, Crunch, Trailblaze, Play Rough. Like, this gives you literally all coverage you ever would want to. And this is kind of cool paired with a Pokemon here as well that has, generally with normal typing, quite a nice neutral defensive typing. But yeah, as you guys see here, we're going to take a look now at the battles. You're going to have the Meowscarada against us. Our Annihilate is going to be able to punch through this Pokemon. Again though, I would rather have Lurantis against, with this team compared to Annihilate. There were times where I just like to have a better answer against Ground-type Pokemon. And I think this is something that is just takeaway from my Legend team as well, that if you have a clear answer to Ground-type Pokemon, like an answer that completely shuts them down, you're going to be in a very solid spot with it. I do think the best and only real clear answer are currently Grass-type Pokemon. Yes, Flying-type Pokemon can resist the ground typing as well, but most ground types have a Rock-type as a coverage currently, or like some kind of coverage for those Flying-type Pokemon, which makes it quite tough. And so now we're going to be able to move on to the next team. We're going to have the Talonflame against us. We are going to be able to go for the Parabolic Charge against this Pokemon as well. This is looking quite alright. We're going to be able to get the shield, and they're going to try to get our shield here as well, which we're going to give them as well by going for just shield here against the Flame Charge. In comes Toadsquirrel. This is the main reason actually. I don't really have a great answer against grass and ground type Pokemon with this team, as my Teddiursa is just going to be neutral. And so I'm going to be forced to go for the Ice Punch, hoping that the opponent would somehow let the move go, which they do, which now allows me to align myself still. But if I had the Lurantis, I would have been able to resist the fast move damage from the opponent. The opponent would be forced to go for the, what's called the Wrap the entire time in order to do any damage. And I would have just such a safer matchup. But as you're going to see here, we're going to have now the Teddiursa up against the Ferret. We have the option to go for the Cross Chop, which is going to do super effective damage, but we do generate energy not as fast as the opponent does, and so it is a bit of an awkward play here. We have to hope that we can still reach yet another move. If we can get to this one here, we die on the Cross Chop, which is going to lose us the battle. That was so unfortunate. Like, that was just unfortunate. In hindsight, if I shielded the first move up, I think I actually would have been able to win this battle, because then I still would have been forced to go for yet another move, which gives me then another free fast move in. And so I do think that actually I had the chance of winning this one if I just played it a bit differently, but that's of course something that you always can only know in hindsight there, because this is going to be kind of how it is. Anyway, we're going to have the Bastion against us here. Against Bastion, we actually have kind of solid coverage against. As you will see here as well, the Annihilate is going to go up against that thing now. Goes for the full farm down, and we have a lot of energy to use against the opponent. But yet again, there's going to be this matchup here where I would have rather had Lurantis and the defensive typing of just the pure grass typing than whatever we have here. And so we're going to decide to use a shield here. This is going to be okay. The Bone Club is coming through. We're going to have the Raichus coming in next. This is going to be alright for us. This is going to allow us to get some more damage up against that Steelix, but we are running out of Pokemon. And that is the issue. We are running out of Pokemon. We don't have enough Pokemon to deal with all of the things here. And as you're going to see, there's going to be, that Raichus coming through. We're going to get the KO there. We're going to try our best, but we can actually still get to the Play Rough against the opponent's Marowak, winning us this battle, and we can move on to the next one. where we will face the Corviknight and immediate forfeit there. I guess they were not really that happy, yeah, about that lead matchup. But let's take a look here now on what the what the Teddiursa is going to be able to do against the Moltres. That is going to be something that is just not really something that you would really expect to see a lot of times. But hey, Teddiursa is going to get some solid damage in against them. We can take the fly and we can go down to our Dedenne and just go for the full farm down. This is the best way of playing this one. Going for the full farm down is just the best way of going for this scenario, because now we have a ton of energy. We know that we have to sub out straight away anyway because they have that clear answer. They're going to have another Pokemon in the back that's going to be a bit more tough for us to deal with. But it doesn't mean that we have no chance here, as you're going to see as well. We are going to try our best to still go for another charge move. And we have now the option to go for the shield. You can go for another charge move here. Very likely going to get the shield from the opponent yet again. But yeah, they're still going to be able to force our final shield from us. It's kind of sad they're going to outspeed us quite clearly. And we have now here the Stunfisk coming in. We're going to try our best to go for another charge move, but it's going to be very close if we're going to be able to win this battle. It's very unlikely. We are going to be forced, of course, to go for the bait here. And now I'm thinking, do I go for more fast moves or do I swap out? I go for more fast moves, which is actually the right decision anyway, because the opponent expected me, I guess, to swap out, and they went straight for their own charge move, which means now I have the player off coming in. I hope it's going to be enough, and it turns out it is not the case. But we can still reach that parabolic charge in time, which is going to allow us to get that KO against the opponent's Stunfisk, and we can move on to the next opponent, where we will face the Goodra in the lead. This is going to be a Pokemon that we can definitely deal with, and they sub out into the Drapion. Me going for the Parabolic Charge here is just the case because I want to get the shields a little bit of damage here. I'm going to get the shield advantage, which now kind of sets up my Annihilate a little bit better. And so let's see on how things are going to go. We are going to use a shield against the Crunch. They're not going to get the debuff. We would be able to survive a Crunch, but we also can just go straight for my Ice Punch, which now would allow us to get the KO against them. And now we have basically the same amount of shields, we have alignment, and we know exactly what we're going to have to face. As we're going to be able to go for those Rage Fists against the opponent, we are going to have here the damage coming in against that Azumarill. Let's see on how things gonna go. We're gonna be able to let this move go. It's gonna be that Ice Beam, and they're gonna get the KO against us. But in comes Dedenne. I can get some nice energy here against them, and I can use a shield here because I know that Dedenne is going to have so much play against the opponent. Ice Beam coming through. I can just go for the Parabolic Charge, but it's gonna be up against the Goodra. That is not going to be ideal. Nice catch from the opponent, but I assume that they would want to use a shield here against a potential player off. But I'm going to go for the bait now. Parabolic Charge is coming in yet again. We're going to try our best to go for another Parabolic Charge here. This works out quite well for us, as now we are going to be able to get the shield from them, and we should be able to take any hit. We had +3 defense on our Dedenne, which makes this quite squishy Pokemon, a very bulky Pokemon. Allow me to even survive this move, I think, because this should not be enough damage yet. Awkward here is not going to be enough yet. We can go for another Parabolic Charge, putting me at +4 defense, knocking out the opponent, and with that we're going to have now the Teddiursa against the Azumarill as they decide to forfeit. Sorry, it's so funny to have Teddiursa here against the opponents. Like, what's going on there? Anyway, we're going to see yet another Drapion. Drapion seems to be getting a little bit more play now all of a sudden. Then we're going to swap out here now into our Annihilate. This is going to be an alright matchup for us. This is going to be a matchup that we can play out. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and I can even let the move go, as we will see. This is going to be here the third coming in. This is going to allow us to get some damage in, and well, let's see on how things are going to go. Dedenne is coming in. Dedenne is going to be a Pokemon here. Of course, it's going to be able to counter the opponent's Charizard. We have to still reach 2 more moves though, and that's going to be quite tough. Or maybe we could let this move go. We're gonna shield this move up. Hopefully it's not Air Cutter, it's gonna be Blast Burn. So at least we shield up a lot of energy there, which is quite important. That is good for us. Then comes the Parabolic Charge. Gonna get the shield from the opponent's Charizard here as well. And let's see here. There is going to be yet another move coming through from the opponent. It is going to be the Air Cutter. I have only basically my Teddiursa, and I guess also my Annihilate. I try to snipe out the opponent there, but they sub out into the third, and that is going to be so bad for us. If I just went straight into my Teddiursa, which in hindsight I should have done anyway, I would have won this battle straight away. But like this, I'm going to be forced to go for a move now against the opponent. This is going to be a super effective hit, going to knock out the opponent with a cross chop. But sadly, the Charizard is going to be able to reach still another move here. This is going to be the air cutter coming through, knocking us out, and we just barely lose, even though we should have definitely won this battle. My bad there, definitely my mistake. But let's move on here to the next opponent, where we will face a Charger Bug against us. This is going to be great. This is going to be a matchup where we can just let those Xers go through. I'm going to try my best to go for the Player now against them as well to get the KOs. But let's see on how things are going to be here. Player is coming through, doing some solid damage. And I have to go for a Parabolic Charge next. I didn't hit all the bells of the Player, which actually maybe comes in clutch for us. If this is going to be now farm down. Oh, we actually go for the Player. Sure, just went for the other move. Sure, just went for my... this charge, I want to say that, Parabolic Charge here, of course, as this is going to allow us to get still the KO here. We have a double shield, we have 2 shields left, we have a shield advantage basically. We have the Annihilate against the Lapras, where we're going to use our shield, that is totally fine. But even at this point, I don't even need to really throw my moves, because they're going to be now in cross-chop range of my Teddiursa. In comes the Moltres. That is going to be fine, because now I can go for the Ice Punch spam, and as long as I'm going to be able to hit one of those Ice Punches, we are going to be in a very solid spot, as now we're going to be able to just go ahead and shield this move up. Fly is coming through. This is going to be okay. We're going to have another Ice Punch coming through here as well. And this is going to allow us to get the KO. The Lapras coming in. This is going to be, an interesting matchup yet again. Let's see on how this is going to go for us. There's going to be a Sparkling Area. It's not going to be enough. And with that, a cross chop, Teddiursa is going to be able to win this battle against the opponent. Alright. Next up, we're going to have here Dedenne. Dedenne is going to be okay. Dedenne is going to be good for us. And it comes the Forfeit, which you can counter here as well with our Annihilate. This is going to be kind of cool for us as well, because what we can do now is go for the full farm down and relieve here with basically 2 charge moves stored, which is perfect, as now we're going to be able to just go for the 2 fast moves and then the Rage Fist against the opponent. This is looking really good for us, as now this is going to allow us to get some nice damage in. We can still go for another Rage Fist. The opponent seems to be lagging here though, which is interesting, as now I am going to be able to still even reach another move, but I actually don't get it off, which is kind of sad. I didn't expect that they would swap out of there. Now it's down to my Teddiursa to win this, because how else am I going to be able to win against a Pokemon like a Toadscroll if I have a Dedenne still left? So, Cross Chop is coming in. Cross Chop is going to be alright. This is going to be now, getting the shield here from the opponent. We're going to try our best to go for our Play Rough here. And let's see on how things are going to go. There's going to be the Wrap coming in. In comes the Talonflame, we can go for the full farm down. In comes the Play Rough, and looking really good. This should be enough to knock them out here, right? Like, this has to be enough to knock them out. And it is not the case, as we will see here. They can farm us down, and they're going to be even able to get enough energy here to go for another charge move, knocking us out. I should have won this battle. I definitely misspelled this one. And generally, that's kind of what happened with, like, I don't know, the games here so far. I had a lot of times games that I should have won and I just didn't win, and that is kind of sad. So yeah, as you will see here, there is going to be now the Empoleon coming in against us. Altaria Elite is fine. Altaria Elite is actually really, really good. And this is going to be now an interesting one here, as we're going to be able to go for another charge move. This is going to be the Parabolic Charge coming in, and we're going to try our best to win with our Dedenne. Dedenne is going to go for the shield here. Hydro Cannon is coming through as well, and we can try our best to go for another charge move. Parabolic Charge is going to knock them out. In comes Dedenne. We're going to try our best to go for another Play Rough, but we're not going to be able to reach in time. I let the move go, and honestly, this is a big mistake. I should have shielded that move up. I have no idea why I did do this, because I needed the Play Rough damage in order to put them into range for our Teddiursa. And this is such a big mistake, because now the Trailblaze is not going to be enough damage there. And like, what am I going to do? Win with an Annihilate against a Flying type and the Fairy type Pokemon? Like, of course I'm not going to be able to do that. Right? Annihilate has access to Ice Punch, but I have to be careful. I know that they're going to be able to go for a move very soon here as well afterwards. Again, they have still some energy, and so I have to farm up a bit in order to reach still the Ice Punch in time against the Altaria, but also need to still knock them out. And as you're going to see here, this is going to allow us to go for that Ice Punch, which is going to now get the KO against the opponent, or we can slow win the battle. This is going to be a tier with Teddiursa. I actually climbed up to 3000 something 60 MMR with that as well. It's kind of funny. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.